Hey Lovies, welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. Welcome to my old and new subbies. I'm so glad to have you all here with me today for some new fall DIYs. I'm going to stop running my mouth and we're going to jump into these first projects. Alright, so I have this oldie but goodie sign that I found in my stash from Dollar Tree, y'all. I know y'all remember these. I wish they would bring these back, okay? So I'm just going to go in and remove that string, and I'm going to go in with some white paint. Now what I should have done here is I should have went in with black paint first, but I didn't think about that because I remember with these signs, even though the engraving in them is not it's not deep, you can still see it through the paint. And as I was going and the closer I got towards the end, I remembered, and this is where I jump in with some of that black paint, and I still needed about 4 coats of paint for this. So once I let that dry, and it did give a little crackle effect on accident, but I wasn't mad at it, so I kept going. So right here I have these beautiful transfers that I picked up from Amazon, I think last year or the year before, but I absolutely love them. As I've shared with you guys before, I love the blue with that orange and then the white background. I think that's just so nice. Just like I love the traditional colors. It's just something about that pop of blue that still screams fall. All right, that you can just absolutely get away with it. Now, I will say, these transfers, they are sticky. They're more like stickers to me, and they can crack on you. So once I pull that top sheet off to reveal the actual transfer, this is what we have. And I did lose a little bit of the print, but it's okay. And so what you see here, I'm just sanding down around the edges and on that actual paint where the picture is, just to give it kind of a little rustic charm, if you will. And once we do that, I'm going to take this string, kind of like a string garland, I guess, that says blessed. It came from Hobby Lobby. I had that in my stash as well. Now guys, I gotta tell y'all gonna have to say a prayer for me, okay? In a couple of days I have to go over to Hobby Lobby because I'm doing something for a friend of mine, and I just don't trust myself. I have not been to Hobby Lobby in months because I do not trust myself. And so I'm just scared that I'm going to go in there and lose my mind. But I told myself to stay focused. So y'all just say a prayer for me that I walk out of there with the things I intended to pick up, and that let that be it. Now I do need like 2 things out of there. But let me just, I hope I just don't leave out with a basket full of stuff. I do not. I just, ooh, I hope I don't. So y'all pray for me, okay? So right here, I'm adding this string, and that's serious prayers too, just so y'all know. I'm serious. Like, I just don't trust myself in Hobby Lobby at all, okay? That is my weakness. My Achilles heel, it is my weakness, okay? So once I get that string tied back on there, the hanger, I'm just going to remove some of the beads. And I did cut this part down a little bit, but I am going to tack, well, I cut it down a little bit, but I've still left a little bit of the string on there so I can tack it onto the bottom. Because even though I'm adding the hot glue here, and I trust my hot glue, the Gorilla Hot Glue works really well for me, but I just wanted to add a little extra security here, and I knew if I tried to staple it that it would go through the board because it's so thin. So I just used a little hot glue, and then I'm going to tack the little excess strings off to the back. And this is so simple. All of these are super simple today, but and I love it. I think it's cute. I love the little black rim around it. It's just something about it. I do feel like the little banner there, the color of the banner is a little off, but at the same time, I'm digging it though. So I don't know. I'm just rolling with it. That's me. Y'all know how I do. Okay. So this is where I'm going to just tack it down a little bit. And if you were to recreate something like this, you could definitely put some painter's tape over it just to, you know, again, a little added security, never hurt anybody. And that is going to be almost it. What I decided to do was take one of the leftover beads I had and just cut that in half. If you've been with me anytime, you've seen me do this a million times over. And it's a very soft bead, very easy to cut. I probably could have just cut it with the scissors, but it snapped in two really easy. So I'm just going to take that and add that over those little holes where that hanger is coming through. And this is just to add a little bit more of embellishment to this. Not that it necessarily needed, but I'm like, why not? We have the beads, let's utilize them. So that's what I did. And now that is going to be it for this piece. So simple, so cute. Guys, shop your stash. Like, shop your stash. If you have a stash, shop it, because I'm telling you, it'll save you so much money. And I just can't believe the stuff that I'm finding. I'm excited about it. Every time I find something, I get excited. Now we're going to do a little trash to treasure. And again, I'm going to ask y'all. Whew, okay, y'all. Now, I had in my mind what I wanted to do with this jar. You guys have seen me work with this before. And so I specifically held on to this jar because when I saw it, I was like, I know I want to make a scarecrow with this. I don't know why, but I did. So anyway, once I got all that sticky stuff off, I'm just wiping it down with some alcohol. You can definitely use some Goo Gone or soap and water, whatever you want to use, but alcohol works pretty fine here. So then I'm going in with some of this cashew paint by Waverly. And I had this stash for a long time. You guys can see the color in the paint separated. I'm just going to mix it back up to get its true color. But I know I've had that probably for about 3 years, y'all. Had to have had it for about 2 or 3 years. But anyway, I wanted to make a scarecrow face. And if you guys have been riding with me, you know I'm not the strongest drawer. Okay, I'm not an artist. I never claimed to be, never will be. But I like to challenge myself, and drawing faces is a challenge for me. So I made him look like Bert from Bert and Ernie off of Sesame Street. Yeah. I don't know, is it Bert or Ernie? I don't know which one it is. Y'all know which one I'm talking about, with the little fuzzy thing on top of his head. That's who he looked. That's who he looked like. Because I don't know how to do the eyes. And I was like, why do I have him looking down? I don't know. I was trying to make him happy. And he was giving Frankenstein vibes. But I just kept going because I'm like, I'm committed. I didn't have another project in place of this one. So he came out cute to me. The eyes were just a little weird. So I still gotta commit to working on that, but I'm still proud of myself for just attempting to do it. So on the side, what you see I'm doing, those are his ears, because I thought this jar was just so cute. I'm like, this is such a cute little shape jar to me. So here I'm just coloring in the ears. And I really didn't need to do this part, guys. Even though I was excited about this part, I covered it up like just this just did not come out right. But I mean, I made it work, okay? I don't know why I left all this in here for y'all to see, but this is what I did, okay? So don't judge me, y'all. As I've often asked you not to do, don't judge me, okay? Just give me a slight applause because I tried, and that's all I could do is try. So again, I'm trying to get the eyes right, and I don't know. It looks a little weird to me, but I mean, it is what it is. So now I'm going to take one of these orange paint markers, and I'm just going to go ahead and color in the nose, of course, with that orange color. And I had to fill this in quite a bit because it kept turning like this, giving off this pink hue to it. And I think the reason that happened is because of the color of the actual paint, that cashew paint. So I think the orange just kept soaking. I mean, that cashew paint just kept soaking up that paint, the pen color. And so I just went over it about 3 times or so, and it got a little bit darker, but I mean, you could tell it's orange now. Before it looks almost like a magenta pink. So next, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, that's why I'm looking at it like, what's happening here? So then I just take the actual pink paint pen, and I'm gonna give him some pink cheeks there. And I probably could have went a little bit larger with the little dots on the side, but I was intimidated by this, and so I let it punk me. I did. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I got punked. It's okay. So I'm just gonna get those, try to get them as even as possible. But again, he's still giving. Is it Bert or Ernie? I think it's Bert. Is he still giving Bert vibes? I mean, just he looks like Bert to me. I couldn't unsee that part. That's just what I saw. I couldn't unsee it, but I kept going. And so then I decided that he need a little bit of stitching on there. I didn't do the best at that either, but again, I tried, right? I tried. See, and it looks like it's turning back pink here again, like a peach color pink or something. I don't know, y'all. It just was looking pink to me, his nose. So once we did that, now we're going to take some of this raffia from my stash. And I got this in a bundle from Amazon a while back, like a few years ago. So I don't know if they still have it or not. I'm sure they do. But it comes all tightly bundled and you just separate it as you need it. And so I'm going to go ahead and start putting on his raffia hair here. That did take a little bit. I didn't want to overdo it because I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but I just didn't want to overdo it. And then I thought about it, like I should have made his face probably a little bit either lighter or darker because the raffia hair was just kind of blending all together with that. But you could still tell it's raffia hair there. But I don't know. I just felt like it was just one tone. So then next, I'm going to take some of this jute twine and I'm just going to wrap that around the top part of the jar. And this is more so just to cover the front part of the jar because at first I thought you weren't going to be able to see it once I add his hat, but you could actually see it. So I was like, I don't want the raffia to go all the way around. So this is what I decided to do in place of that. And again, it just kind of still blends in with the tone of the jar. So I wasn't overly concerned about it. So then we're going to take one of these little LED lights that's shaped like a light bulb from Dollar Tree, and this is going to be his hat. So I was removing that little metal piece out of there, and then we're going to take some of this fabric, which I think also came from Dollar Tree if I'm not mistaken. It's one of their little fat corners that they sell, and I'm going to cut out a square as even as I can here. And so once I get that cut down, we're going to take that and we're going to put the little LED light right in the middle, middle, not middle, in the middle. And we're going to circle, draw a circle around that top part of it. And we're going to cut that little hole out of there because we want this fabric to flap over the LED light because this is going to be his hat. And again, this is where I should have went lighter with his face. Like I shouldn't have given his face 2 coats so you could actually see through it because these lights do not have a strong glow. So you couldn't really tell, like you could tell slightly that it was lit up, but it didn't work how I thought it was going to work. None of this project worked how I thought it was going to work, but it worked. Okay. So once I get that hole cut out there, I'm going to take some of this fabric Mod Podge and I'm going to go ahead and just slather that around that rim right there. All right. And I'm going to give it a nice thick coat, and you really only need to go around it like once really because the fabric Mod Podge is so thick, and we're just going to press that in and have a few wrinkles because we want it to look, you know, scraggly like the Scarecrow. And so then I'm going to take some more of that Mod Podge and go around the top part of the hat there, and I did cut down a strip of that same fabric and I'm just going to wrap that around. Okay. And once I get that on there, what I'm also going to do is take the little medallion piece that we cut out. We're going to put that over the top. And what you're going to see that I'm going to do, so you're able to cut the light on and off, I'm just going to tack a little bit of hot glue in there to make it kind of like a flap. You'll see me do that in a few seconds. So once we do that, then I'm just going to start cutting down a little bit of this strip, and I'm going to try to rip it around because, again, I wanted to give it that scraggly look. I didn't want it perfectly cut. And so I'm just taking and ripping it down as best I can all the way around. And what I'm doing is just pre-cutting it because the fabric just was tough. And I should have did this before, but I wasn't thinking about it. But once I get it all unraveled how I want it, I'm just going to take this mini heat press. Now it looks like I'm really pressing on this for a while. I'm not. I'm literally just moving around fast because the top of that LED light is plastic. So in the little mini heat press gets really hot. So I just was moving it around as quickly as I possibly could. But then I thought about it. I'm like, if it does kind of melt it, I think it'll kind of tie into the hat. But it didn't. It actually it stayed pretty sturdy. So then to cover up where I added in that fabric to the little rim part up there, I'm just going to take a little bit of this jute twine and I'm going to wrap it around just a few times. And that's just because I did miscut it because I'm May. Y'all know. So I to cover that up a little bit, and I just go around it a few times, and I'm going to tack it down with some of that hot glue right there, and that'll be it for that part. And so then this is where I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue on either side of the opening for where the battery part is, and also where you can turn the switch on and off. So it tucks down in there very snug. So I was like, that would be a pretty cool way to camouflage that, and it worked. So then here I'm just sizing it just to make sure it fits on the jar how I was hoping it would, and it did. So then I decided to tack up a little bit of his hat just to give it more of a more hat feel. Like, again, going for that scraggly, untamed look. And it really does come out cute, y'all. Like, the hat part did come out cute, but the overall project, that's still to be determined. Well, I've already determined that it did not come out good, but y'all can be the final determinators. Oh my goodness, I love y'all for watching me. I know I say it all the time, but I just appreciate y'all watching me and my shenanigans because I don't know, just hot mess all over here. All right, so then I decided to take the top from that jar, fill it in with some grass, and I'm gonna stick our little I was gonna say snowman, our little, oh my goodness, Scarecrow head in there. He needs a body. I know I didn't give him a body. Poor baby. I'm so sorry. Nobody. So then I decided the hat needed something else. So I decided to take a piece of this scrap greenery. And I'm going to take a couple of fall leaves. And I'm going to put that right in the middle of the hat. Just to give it a little razzle dazzle. A little something something. And then I'm going to take, I don't know. I had some scraps in this bag. I don't know what these little things are called. They kind of remind me of corn, but they're not corn. I don't know what they're called. But we're going to take that and stick that right in the middle of there as well. I'm like, why not? We've come this far. We might as well keep going. Why stop now? So that's what I decided to do. And we're going to put his hat back on. And that's going to be it for our little Scarecrow. I think it's kind of sort of cute. A little bit. Teeny tiny bit. Oh, I cut down the circle a little bit because I had a little excess over because it was just so snug in there, but it had a little piece that was pushing up. So I just trimmed it down a little bit. Now we're back in business and we're good to go. And I believe that is it for this project. So I want to know what y'all think about this one. I know it's a lot. I know. So here we are with the final project. So I have this little clear picture frame that I found at Dollar Tree. If you guys were around for my Christmas videos, you guys saw I added a snowman to this, and I had a couple more of these, and so I was like, I gotta do something for fall with this one. So we're gonna take another rub-on transfer, and I know y'all probably tired of me doing rub-on transfers. I'll try not to do one in the next video, but I can't promise y'all. Oh, I like rub-on transfers, I do, and I have so many of them, y'all, in my stash. I gotta use them. But this came out absolutely beautiful. It really, really did. So just like the first rub-on transfer, we're just going to take and apply this to the surface. And as you guys saw there, I wiped it down with some alcohol. I actually wiped it down with a little soap and water and some alcohol. And now I'm just going to apply the transfer to this. Now this transfer was so disrespectful. It would not release like it. And I was afraid because you know, with the Dollar Tree frames, the glass in there is super thin. So I was like, I do not want this to break, and I do not want this to cut me. And so it took me probably about 15 minutes to get this off. Not in you guys' time, but in my time. It took about 15 minutes to come off. So once I start fighting for my life, or stop fighting for my life to get this off of there, it looked absolutely beautiful. And I'm calling it Bambi. That looks like Bambi, just sitting in some fall flowers. I think it's so adorable. I really do. So to add this back in, and off camera, I don't know if I said that, I removed some hot glue off of it because that's literally, that was all that was holding it together. I just added back that hot glue in the corners. I didn't want it all the way around because I didn't want it oozing. After I put it back in the frame, because there's 2 glass panels there, I'm going to just take the hot glue and then go all the way around it. And I just felt like it was going to be better to do it that way without having all the oozing, opposed to trying to put a full rim of hot glue in between the 2 panels. I just felt like it was going to squish. But look how pretty that is. And you can totally leave this just like this, okay? So now I have one of these thankful words that came in a pack from Hobby Lobby, thankful and blessed. You're probably gonna see me use these a lot too, because I have a lot of these in my stash as well. I'm gonna try not to though, guys, but I just can't help it. I'm really trying to use what I have, so I'm so sorry, but I hope you guys are still inspired by it. So then I'm going to take some of these fall leaves, and I'm just going to go across the top part of this. This is just kind of to mimic the little fall leaves that Bambi is sitting in. And I think this is so pretty. This is hands down my favorite of today because it was so simple. And again, those traditional colors. And I was like, this is just so cute. If I could add lights to it, I would have added lights to this. But I didn't think about it right at that moment. And afterwards, I was like, this is just so pretty, as simple as it is. Okay. Now, all right, lovies, here we are in the final reveal. If you are still here writing with me, thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting, just because you guys know how much I love to chat with you guys after each and every video. And if you can, lovies, please share the video and really, just try to get it out there as much as you can. The channel is struggling, so every little bit helps, all right? And if you have a favorite of today, lovies, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from you. I apologize for the lighting. It's just off. It was just off. So I tried to fix it, but this is as good as I could get. But let me know, lovies, if you have a favorite of today. I want to hear from you. How you feel about Ernie or Bert? I'm not sure which. I think it's Bert. I always forget. I don't know. How you feel about Bert the Scarecrow? I know those eyes are it just needs some help. But again, I tried. So let's just give an E for effort. Okay? Let us not judge. Remember that, okay? We come together in harmony. We try things here. We do things here. That's what we do. Once you hit that like button, don't forget to hit that hype button. That also helps your girl out. If you want to support my channel in other ways, you can do so by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/craftaway with May. If you can't, that's okay. I'm just happy to have you here with me. All right, lovies. So until the next video, I want you all to be safe, be kind, hugs and kisses, XOXO. Bye.